engineers? Thanks for checking out the Home Recording Network. Today's video is something that I don't think will be useful to a lot of people, but I'm gonna make this video anyways. So I recently recorded a very original band, and the thing that's different about them is they have two bass players in the band. They don't have any guitars in the band. Now, from talking to them, they haven't had very good recording experiences because what's a guy supposed to do with two bass players? So I kind of had to figure something out. So, from listening to one of their videos that they had on YouTube, which I'll leave a link to in the description, it kind of sounded like the one bass player was playing guitar, as his bass almost sounded a bit like a guitar. So he kind of plays high up bass chords, I guess you could say, and he plays through a very overdriven amp. So what I decided to do is basically treat his bass like a guitar. So I did everything I normally would do. I mic'd up his cab, and what we basically did was double track all his parts and pan them wide to get them out of the way of the actual bass. So I'll just show you a clip of the song, what it sounds like.
Never to enjoy life. Why collect the memories that keep us afar until we're numb and undefined? The start, it's the hardest part. Hold on, give it time.
Yeah, and I think that sounds very cool. I love everything about this band. I love her voice. I love how original it sounds because you don't hear something like this too often. There's obviously like a lot of high end missing because there's no guitar or anything else going on, but it sounds pretty cool. So on the track, I really just have one plugin here, and that's the SSL channel. I don't have any compression or anything like that going on because this is heavily distorted bass, and as you can see here, it's very compressed. So all we have really is an EQ, and like I said, I treated this like a guitar for the most part. So we got the roll off at 100 hertz, just like I would normally do on a guitar. And on a guitar for the high end roll off, I would normally bring this to maybe 12K. If it's a solo guitar part, I would probably bring it more to 8K. But I just left the low pass filter off because I want as much of the high end as possible because there's like I said, nothing going on in the high end. And then below it, we have a high shelf. So we have everything being brought up above 1.5K. And we have about a 3 dB boost. And this is what's giving the guitar its brightness. And then just for some aggression, we have a 1.5K bell boost here. And that's really it because as you've probably heard me say before, if you watch my videos, if you're boosting by more than 3 dB on an amp that you mic'd, you've done something wrong. You want to get a great tone from the beginning. So I think this is all we really had to do here to add a little bit more high end to this bass slash guitar tone. And we also have some other guitars coming up the middle at some points in the song with a little solo action. And for any of these solo parts that are up the middle, to differentiate them from the rhythm parts, what I simply did is I boosted a little bit above 2K instead of 1.5K like I was doing on the Rhythm. So they're going to sound a tad bit different than the guitars that are panned wide, and you're going to be able to hear all the guitars that are going on pretty clearly. And like I said, I don't know if anybody will be able to use this advice, but I just figured I'd make a video on it. Some people might geek out on it. This is something that you probably don't come across very often, but that's about it. Hey guys, if you found this video helpful, be sure to download your free home studio mix guide with your go-to EQ and compression settings for all your tracks. Also, feel free to register for my free online mix training that I hold a couple times a week so you can learn how to make radio quality music from your home without breaking the bank.